won't be silenced ever again. We will speak up for Christians wherever they are in this world. Amen.
Amen. I don't know if you can see this at home, but she is getting a ton of standing ovations.
This is my video update on this Saturday afternoon, December the 27th, coming to you from Larnaca, Cyprus. Let's talk about some news. And let's start things off with a military update in Ukraine. A quick update as to what is happening on the front lines in Ukraine. We are getting word from Ukraine mapping channels that the area of Guliapole is now under the full control of the Russian military. And this is coming from many Ukraine military analysts and mapping channels. Happened a lot faster than I expected. But it does look like the Russian military does control all or most of Guliapole. And I imagine that the Russian Ministry of Defense in the next week or two will make an announcement confirming the Russian military's control and capture of Guliapole. So we knew this was coming. I was thinking this was going to happen in about a week or two. We were going to get the first announcements from the various military analysts. And the mapping channels that let's go this way. That Guliapole was under the control of the Russian military, but it happened today. So that's the situation there in Guliapole, in the Zaporozhye region, and we have the Greek flag, and we have the Greek flag, everybody, the beautiful Greek flag. Very windy today. The Mediterranean blue and the white with the Greek cross. Very nice. So, in Kupyansk, I've been talking a bit about Kupyansk over my past couple of videos, and today we had a statement from the Russian Ministry of Defense claiming that Kupyansk is under the control of the Russian military. That is what the Russian Ministry of Defense said today in a statement. Kupyansk is under the control of Russian units. The Russian armed forces are currently eliminating small formations of the Ukrainian armed forces and clearing buildings and basements of scattered enemy groups. This is a statement from the Russian Ministry of Defense. On the Ukraine side of things, according to the Ukraine military and to their commander Zelensky, Kupyansk is under the control of Ukraine, or is about to be under the control of Ukraine. That's the narrative that you get from Zelensky and the Ukraine side of things. But this morning we got an official statement from the Russian Ministry of Defense claiming that Kupyansk is under the control of the Russian military, and they are clearing the Ukraine military from various buildings and the basements. So that is an update on Kupyansk. And in Ukraine, in Kiev, we had a large missile and drone strike from the Russian military hitting energy facilities and infrastructure and causing blackouts in parts of Kiev. The Russian military also hit facilities in Odessa as well. Various reports claim over 500 drones and around 40 missiles were used in the latest Russian drone and missile strike into Ukraine and hitting Kiev. So that's an update of the military situation, a very quick update of the military situation. And we can now shift gears and talk about the diplomacy that is taking place between Ukraine and the United States, and between the United States and Russia. With the United States, of course, being the neutral mediator in all of this. The peace president, Trump, trying to notch his ninth conflict resolution, his ninth end to a war, right? His ninth, number 9 for the peace president, Donald J. Trump. And he says that he is very close to getting number 9 as the United States mediates and tries to resolve the conflict in Ukraine as a neutral country in this conflict. The Trump administration, very, very neutral, trying to mediate a deal. And Zelensky, he is on his way to Florida. He is flying to Florida as I record this video, and he will be meeting with Trump in Mar-a-Lago or close to Mar-a-Lago. And I'm not quite sure if the meetings with Trump are going to actually take place in Mar-a-Lago, but it's going to be in the area, the vicinity of Mar-a-Lago, where Zelensky will most likely make Trump an offer to purchase Mar-a-Lago for $90 billion. The amount of the EU loan to Ukraine, or 90 billion euros. Podolyak, 90 billion for Mar-a-Lago. Where is Podolyak? Where is Podolyak? Why did I fire him? Anyway, okay, so the Green Goblin is on his way to the USA, and he is going to discuss his 20-point peace plan. His plan. And we've gone from the Trump 28-point peace plan to 4 or 5 other peace plans, and now we are on Zelensky's 20-point peace plan. The collective West media is making it out as if this is the plan to end all plans. This is the final plan. This is the best shot at peace, according to collective West media, and Ukraine is making territorial concessions in Zelensky's 20-point peace plan. The territorial concession is a free economic zone in the Donbass, or a demilitarized zone. That is the territorial concession that Zelensky is willing to make in his 20-point peace plan. And they're going to discuss territory. Zelensky and Trump. It's just those two that are going to meet. Just Ukraine and the United States. Just Zelensky and Trump. Mano a mano. It's on like Donkey Kong. Zelensky takes on Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Perhaps the two greatest negotiators of our time, in one location, in one room, trying to hammer out a peace. And the territory is one big topic. The other big topic is security guarantees, Article 5-like security guarantees, and we have an update on the security guarantees. There are reports from U.S. mainstream media that the Trump administration is ready to agree to a 15-year Article 5-like security guarantee. But Zelensky wants more than 15 years. Article 5, like Article 5 style security guarantees, an alliance between the United States and Ukraine for 15 years. Zelensky wants more. If that is indeed the case, then that would mean that the United States is on the hook to go to war on behalf of Ukraine. Do the American people really want that? Well, that's the reports that we are getting. that 15 years, that's what's on the table with regards to security guarantees. And the other big topic that Trump and Zelensky are going to discuss is the ZNPP, the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant. And the United States wants to control the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant. Zelensky is pitching a type of joint control. And Zelensky is gracious enough to in his 20-point peace plan to allow the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant to supply energy to the Donbass, to the areas of the Donbass which are controlled by Russia, or according to the Russian Constitution, part of the Russian Federation. Zelensky says that the United States and Ukraine, they can control the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant, with Russia being able to get energy from the ZNPP. The ZNPP has been under the control of the Russian military, of Russia, been under the control of Russia since 2022, the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, sometime around there. But that's what's going to be discussed. Another big topic between Zelensky and Trump. And the other big topic is money. money. Reparations and Russian frozen assets and investment in Ukraine and stuff like that. So those are going to be the topics under discussion between the two heavyweights, Donald J. Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky, with the United States as the neutral mediator. And then the U.S. is going to take all of this and, I guess, present it to Russia as a final agreement. Perhaps, maybe, is that what's going to happen? One thing that the Green Goblin is going to pitch to Trump is a 60 to 90 day ceasefire and then a referendum. So he's also going to pitch that to Trump. And Zelensky is saying that whatever him and Trump agree on with his 20-point peace plan, which is the plan to end all plans, whatever is agreed on, then it's going to be taken to the Ukrainian people, and they're going to be able to vote either yes or no on the final version of the 20-point peace plan. So basically, Zelensky's idea is, and if Trump agrees to this, the idea is that the Ukraine people will vote yes or no to Russia's surrender, to Russia's capitulation, because Zelensky's 20-point peace plan is effectively a surrender for Russia, right? If Russia were to agree to the actual 20-point peace plan, at least what we've seen, what has been published and made public, well, it is a Russian capitulation. So Zelensky is saying, let's take this to the citizens of Ukraine and have them vote yes or no. Do you vote yes or no to Russia's surrender? That's going to be the question. Do you vote yes or no? Yes, sure, yes, of course. So that's his plan. And he wants a 60 to 90 day ceasefire. So that's the deal. That is what is going to take place. There's going to be a conference call today between the Green Goblin, the Europeans, and Trump. So they're going to actually have a conference call to prepare for everything for the big meeting tomorrow. So Trump is going to actually be speaking with the Europeans, but via video. And then tomorrow they're going to have the face-to-face. According to Politico, Trump said that Zelensky doesn't have anything until I approve it, when they asked him about the 20-point peace plan and the chance for a negotiated settlement to the conflict in Ukraine. Those were Trump's words. Zelensky doesn't have anything until I approve it. But Trump did strike a confident tone, saying that he believes everything's going to go fine with the Green Goblin, and he believes that everything's going to go fine with Putin. He's going to call Putin when all of this is wrapped up, and he believes that Putin will be A-okay with everything that is agreed on. He's confident. He's confident that he's going to be able to make the deal. So will Russia go along with Zelensky's 20-point peace plan? Doubt it. Highly doubt it. Highly, highly, highly doubt it. But Russia is keeping the door open to talks and to negotiations, at least with the United States. The deputy foreign minister, Ryabkov, he said in an interview that when it comes to the Europeans, there's really not much to discuss, because the Europeans, what they're looking to do is just try to sabotage and torpedo any kind of progress with the United States towards a peace. But Russia remains committed to finding a diplomatic solution to the conflict in Ukraine. And with the United States, they are in close contact with the U.S. And he actually said that when it comes to the United States, we are very close to a solution. According to Ryabkov, December 25 marked a major milestone in the peace process. It was the moment when we got close, really close to a solution, the senior diplomat said. While he did not elaborate on what that major milestone might be, diplomatic activity between Russia and the U.S. intensified this week. What happened on December 25th for Ryabkov to say that we are very, very close to a solution? Interesting statement. Kommersant is reporting that Putin said in a meeting to Russian businessmen, that business leaders, that Russia could consider limited territorial swaps in Ukraine, but insists on full control of the Donbas region. The Russian leader outlined his position during a late-night Kremlin meeting with top businessmen on the 24th of December. Kommersant correspondent Andrei Koleshnikov reported Putin told the gathering that the Russian side is still ready to make the concessions that he made in Anchorage, declaring that Donbas is ours, according to the newspaper. Beyond Donbas, Koleshnikov wrote, a partial exchange of territories from the Russian side is not ruled out. So according to Kommersant and to this journalist, Putin is signaling that it's Anchorage that Russia's ready to deal on, and Anchorage did talk about some sort of territorial concessions. Maybe you could even say a territorial pause. And what I mean by that is Zaporozhye and Kherson. According to the reports that we got from Anchorage, it is correct that Donbas, all of Donbas, is going to Russia from those talks in Anchorage that Trump agreed to, and then he walked back. But that part is clear. Then you had the reports claiming that the Russian military would pull back, withdraw from areas like Kharkov and Sumy, right? So they would withdraw from those areas as part of the Anchorage deal, or the framework. Let's call it a framework, not a deal. And then there was speculation, but I believe it was confirmed as well through many statements from Russia itself, that what was agreed on with regards to Kherson and Zaporozhye was that these are parts of the Russian Federation. But what Russia was willing to do is to agree to a freeze on the current contact line. Then you have an election in Ukraine, and then you figure out the process for Zaporozhye and Kherson to fully ascend and integrate into the Russian Federation. But there was an agreement, according to various reliable sources, which claimed that the concession that Putin made, actually I even believe Putin mentioned this as well, or hinted at this, that the big concession was a freeze on the contact line in Zaporozhye and Kherson for a limited time until other issues get sorted out, elections, demilitarization, denazification, and all of that stuff. So I think that's what Kommersant is talking about when they mention the swapping of territory and Anchorage and Putin's concessions. It's Anchorage, and Anchorage is pretty much Istanbul plus. It's Istanbul plus June 2024. and that is still on the table. And that was what was agreed on in Anchorage, and that is what Russia is ready to agree to with the United States. But first, we have to go through the theater of Trump and Zelensky and the Europeans. We have to go through all of that theater. And knowing Trump, he could issue a Truth Social statement Sunday afternoon. The meeting with Zelensky is going to take place at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He can issue a Truth Social statement Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, saying that he's very disappointed with Vladimir Putin and he's going to send tomahawks to Ukraine. I mean, with Trump, you can flip, you can flop. It's very, very chaotic and unpredictable. So let's see what happens tomorrow afternoon, and let's see what Trump posts on Truth Social. I get the sense that there's a bunch of different plans floating around. I get the sense that what Russia and the United States are talking about is not even close to the 20-point peace plan that Zelensky and Trump and the Europeans are discussing. And the Trump administration is kind of playing both sides, or playing a double game as they continue to present themselves as the neutral mediator, while at the same time trying to figure out a way to get out of Project Ukraine, or to pass Project Ukraine to the Europeans, for the United States to get out of Project Ukraine and to not be blamed for the loss that is coming in Ukraine. Something like that is going on in the Trump White House, and I think this is what is happening. Probably two different plans are being discussed, and the Trump White House is discussing both of those plans with each of the parties. It seems like it's chaotic. That would be my assessment. But Reuters is reporting that on the military front, at least when it comes to Russia and Europe, Russia is deploying Oreshniks in Belarus. A lot of Oreshniks in Belarus. And they've got the satellite analysis, according to Reuters, and the experts have weighed in, looking at the satellite imagery, saying that Russia is indeed building the installations and the facilities to house enough Oreshniks to obliterate Europe if Russia is threatened. This is according to Reuters. Exclusive: Russia likely placing new hypersonic missiles at former airbase in Belarus, researchers find. Reuters reports that Russia is allegedly deploying new nuclear hypersonic missiles known as Oreshnik at the former Krychev Air Base in eastern Belarus. According to the agency, these developments may significantly expand Russia's strike capability across Europe. Based on satellite imagery, analysts cited by Reuters estimate with around 90% probability that preparations are underway for mobile launch positions for the Oreshnik system. The images reportedly show accelerated construction of infrastructure typical for a strategic missile base. So that is an update on Belarus and the Oreshnik. Something that should surprise no one, because the announcement of Oreshniks to Belarus was made a year ago, right? And Lukashenko has been talking about Oreshniks almost every other month. He's been talking about Belarus getting Oreshniks. The Belarus defense minister, he issued a statement yesterday saying that Europe and Eastern Europe is definitely preparing for a conflict with Belarus, with Russia. They're definitely building military facilities and rearming and preparing for an eventual conflict with Russia in the next couple of years. That was a statement from the Belarus military commander. So Israel recognized Somaliland. Somaliland has been recognized by Israel. That happened yesterday. So this breakaway part of Somalia, very, very small part of Somalia, but very, very strategically located, has been recognized by Israel as a sovereign country. I don't even want to say breakaway, just an area in Somalia has been recognized as a country, as an independent sovereign country. The Republic of Somaliland, officially recognized by the state of Israel. And Netanyahu had an event where he signed the recognition, made it official, Israel's recognition of Somaliland as an independent sovereign state. Nigel Farage says that Somaliland deserves this status. The status? What are you talking about, Farage? Did you even know about Somaliland until yesterday? I had no idea about it. But all of a sudden, we've got Somaliland, right? And when you look at a map, I don't even need to get into any of the analysis about all of this, because when you look at a map, you get a clear understanding as to the importance of this location, the geopolitical, strategic importance of perhaps having some sort of an outpost or some sort of a presence in this part of East Africa. All it takes is a couple of minutes to look at the map and you understand why this move is being made. And if Israel is recognizing Somaliland, or has announced this new country of Somaliland, how long will it be before the United States talks about Somaliland, and then the vassals in the collective West will follow suit? So you'll end up with 20 or 30 countries perhaps recognizing Somaliland in the next year or so. Anyway, that's what happened with Somaliland, which is pissing off the African Union, many countries in Africa. Well, Somalia to begin with, right? But many countries in Africa and East Africa are issuing statements saying that this is BS. You can hear the ice cream truck. You guys hear the ice cream truck? You can hear the music. Like Eddie Murphy used to say, "Get your ice cream, get your ice cream." Eddie Murphy. Yep. One of the legends of comedy. So yeah, the African Union has declared the rejection of any recognition of Somaliland in response to Israel's announcement. And they issued an official statement saying they reject this. Saudi Arabia and various countries in the Middle East are rejecting the recognition of Somaliland. The Foreign Ministry, this is from Saudi Arabia, an official statement, the Foreign Ministry affirms the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's full support for the sovereignty of the Brotherly Federal Republic of Somalia and for its unity and territorial integrity. The Kingdom expresses its rejection of the announcement of mutual recognition between the Israeli occupation authorities and the Somaliland region, considering it an action that entrenches unilateral secessionist measures that violate the international law. That is the official statement from the Foreign Ministry of Saudi Arabia. So should we talk about Taiwan? Is this a good segue into Taiwan? Why not? Why not? China has decided to place 20 U.S. MIC companies, military companies, and 10 individuals under sanctions. China hits U.S. defense firms with sanctions over arms sales to Taiwan because these companies, big MIC companies, and these individuals associated with these MIC companies, along with the Trump administration, are sending a whole lot of weapons to Taiwan. I believe Trump has now sent 2 big weapons packages to Taiwan. The last package that he sent was around 11 billion worth of weapons, and that was about a week ago. And China has acted very fast to place sanctions on the military companies and on the executives and leaders of these military companies. They have been hit with sanctions. And it means a lot, actually. These sanctions are going to really hurt the U.S. MIC and these individuals, because what this effectively means is that these military companies, these corporations, are now going to be cut off from China from Chinese supply chains, from Chinese materials, rare earths, minerals, whatever. Anything that China has that is used by these military companies so they can produce the weapons is now going to be cut off. And so this is going to, I imagine, this is going to really damage the ability of the U.S. military companies to churn out the weapons that they then send to Taiwan. What has taken China so long? You wonder, huh? Yeah, so that's big news. Very, very big news. China is hitting back, and they're hitting back hard, and I would not be surprised if you see more actions from China against the U.S. military-industrial complex. And this is going to upset Trump, no doubt about it. He's going to be very upset with this move from China. But the peace president has sent 2 big military packages to Taiwan. Why are you sending so many arms and weapons to Taiwan? Why are you sending so much weaponry to Taiwan? That's not going to help in your quest for a Nobel Peace Prize. So anyway, that is big news out of China. And let's do a couple of more stories, some more quick news, and we'll wrap things up with a kind of clown world. I think this is a clown world that I've got, but maybe not. I don't know. The strike against Nigeria that happened yesterday. Nigeria is actually rejecting the framing from Trump and from the United States that this was some sort of an attack to protect Christians because there's some sort of a Christian genocide. Nigeria, which is saying that this was a joint operation. Nigeria is saying that this was a joint cooperation operation between themselves and the United States, and they gave permission to the United States, is what the Nigerian government is saying. Anyway, now they are coming out with a statement saying that in this joint operation, it was there was no such operation against Christian genocide. What this operation was about was counterterrorism. It was a counterterrorism action. That is the statement coming out of Nigeria. And finally, before we get to a clown world, we have Cambodia and Thailand signing a second peace agreement, a second ceasefire to the conflict that started up resumed after the first ceasefire where Trump was present to broker that ceasefire between Cambodia and Thailand, which brought his number to 8. 8 successful endings of wars and conflicts, Cambodia and Thailand. But then the conflict started up again a couple of weeks ago, and now they are signing another ceasefire agreement, Cambodia and Thailand. But this time around, Trump was not there. So does this make it 9 wars that Trump has ended, or does it still stay at 8 with Ukraine and Russia perhaps being number 9? I don't know. I don't know how all of these things are tallied, how all of these things are added up. Maybe it's 9. Maybe we're still at 8. Maybe we put an asterisk next to Thailand and Cambodia. I don't know. But anyway, that's good news. Good news that the hostilities, once again for a second time, have stopped. And now we can discuss kind of a clown world, kind of. I don't know. I didn't have many clown worlds today. I didn't have any real clown worlds today. So I'm choosing this story, which is that we have 1 million more pages on Epstein, which are going to be released by the DOJ. 1 million more files or documents or pages to be released. And so I thought there was nothing more to see. I thought that was the narrative, right? We went from there are no more files, there's nothing more to see. Epstein self-deleted, case closed. Let's move on to Democrat hoax, to 1 million more files. 1 million files. And Trump is still saying that this is a Democrat hoax. Actually, he's expanding it. He's expanding this narrative of a Democrat hoax. And he's now saying that not only is this a Democrat hoax, but it's a Democrat hoax that is taking up the time of the DOJ. right? The DOJ could be doing other stuff, but now they're going to be stuck having to go through 1 million Epstein files. 1 million. Oh boy. Democrats taking up all of Pam Bondi's time. How dare you? So Trump posted on Truth Social. Now, 1 million more pages on Epstein are found. Just found them. Just found them. They're just sitting in the corner over there. Just a million of them. There they are. Anyway, now 1 million more pages on Epstein are found. DOJ is being forced to spend all of its time on this Democrat-inspired hoax. When do they say no more and work on election fraud, etc.? The Dems are the ones who worked with Epstein, not the Republicans. Release all of their names, embarrass them, and get back to helping our country. The radical left doesn't want people talking about Trump and Republican success. Only a long ago dead Epstein, just another witch hunt. All of this stuff should have been released day 1 or day 2 of your presidency, and then it would have been maybe, possibly it would have been well behind you at this point in time. Maybe not. But anyway, that's Trump's statement on Epstein, his Truth Social statement on Epstein, and I think I will end the video there. Remember the Mindich guy who was implicated in the Naboo Ukraine energy scandal? I've said in a couple of videos, where did that guy go? What's going on with him? What's going on with Yermak? What's happening with Naboo and Ukraine's corruption energy scandal? Not much talk about it, but Mindich, they found him in Israel, and I believe a reporter or Ukraine media, a Ukraine journalist. I think it was a Ukraine journalist. Anyway, they found Mindich, tracked him down. He was walking along a beach, chilling out, relaxing, and then they interviewed him, right? The Green Goblin's very good buddy, his business partner and very good buddy. And anyway, he said that he has nothing to do with any of this corruption or any of this scandal or whatever. But the point is that he's chilling, man. He's chilling, walking on the beach, walking on the moon. Giant steps are all you take when you're walking on the moon. All right, I will end the video there. I believe the FBI actually, or not the FBI, Naboo actually is going after another close Zelensky associate today. Maybe on the orders of the FBI, but Naboo is going after another close advisor of Zelensky today in relation to the energy scandal. But I forgot the dude's name. Anyway, I'm going to end the video there. theduran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin. Like, share, subscribe to this channel. Check us out on Substack. And I will see everyone tomorrow.